Cutting die plate pressure adjustment has always taken forever, and of course, that means time spent with the machinery not running. Today's work took 3 hours of adjustment time. Does this sound familiar to you? We got tired of just accepting conventional thinking, so we developed a brand new way to cut pressure adjustment time by 2/3, using our incredible press balance technology. When do you need to compensate for unevenness? There are 2 sources of unevenness, the die and the machine. Our research found that the majority of adjustment prep time was wasted on unsuccessful compensation for the unevenness of the cutting machine's flatbed. Reducing this setup time would lead to a significant increase in factory floor productivity, while driving down costs for any die cutting operation. Don't you agree? For example, suppose that the average adjustment prep time for a new die took 30 minutes. If you use 10 new dies a month with your cutter, that's 300 minutes, or 5 hours spent making adjustments each month. If each hour of that time could be spent doing 5,000 die cuts at 5 yen apiece, that's a potential 125,000 yen lost each month. Over the course of a year, that's 1.5 million yen's worth of potential production lost. With our press balance technology, this prep time is cut by 2/3, letting you get back a million yen's worth of lost product time each year. And that's just for a single machine. If you have multiple die cutters, your savings could be even greater. Have you ever stopped to think about just how much potential production time you've lost over the years? Our press balance technology will help you change that. First of all, we asked ourselves, why are die cutter uneven pressure adjustments necessary in the first place? Of course, if you run a die cutting press for a long time, various things will cause the flatbed to develop surface unevenness. And nothing is more difficult than accurately making the precise micro-adjustments needed to make the flatbed surface perfectly even. We had a theory that uneven cutting pressure isn't caused by unevenness in the dies themselves, but because the flatbed surface itself has bumps and dips rather than being totally flat. And of course, if you adjust the height of the flatbed, then each cutting die's adjustment has to be done again. It became clear to us that this was a huge source of production inefficiency. There must be a solution, we thought. There must be some way to stop this problem at its source. And the idea we came up with was simple. We would trace the uneven cutting pressure. If we could just trace the unevenness of the cutting die pressure onto something else, and then invert that, maybe it could cancel out the unevenness. It was the moment we had this realization that our press balance sheet was born. We tried every possible way to trace the uneven pressure in order to get it right. Our breakthrough came when we used 10 thin layers of film with a specialized cutting die, allowing us to precisely trace the uneven pressure. People used to think that pressure adjustments required precise microscopic measurements of the flatbed height. But with our press balance technology, there's absolutely no need for any of that, and no need for a specialist. Anyone can do it. Here's how our press balance sheet works. Put our press balance sheet setup die into your die cutter, then place the layered press balance sheet layered film on top of the flatbed. The layered film consists of 10 20-micron layers totaling 0.2 millimeters thick. The layers are held together with a gentle adhesive. This 20-micron film is from the world's toughest resin, developed by the Japanese resin maker Toray and used in aircraft bodies. Half cut the layered film. Adjust the stroke of your die press cutter to cut partway through the layered film. The raised areas on your flatbed will have more layers cut, and the lower areas will have fewer layers cut. Remove the cut film. After that, the cut film can be removed at 50 millimeters pitch. The uncut film can't be removed. The press balance sheet is complete. Now, with your press balance sheet, you don't have to measure the height of your flatbed to get incredibly precise evenness across your flatbed. To increase durability to handle everyday use, cover both sides with the protective sheets. How to use your press balance sheet. Place your press balance sheet inside its protective sheets on the back of the cutting die, then the die, and apply pressure adjustment tape as usual. The unevenness from the machine itself is gone, so all you need to adjust is the die itself. The press balance sheet can be left inside of your die cutting machine. If you want to use your old adjustments for your dies, just take the press balance sheet out while you use them. So what do you think? With our press balance technology, the more cutting dies you have, the more prep time you'll save. Think of all the extra time you could be spending on your real work and all the lost production time you could have back. The internationally patented technology behind our press balance sheet is being used for cutting dies throughout North America, Germany, and the rest of Europe, and all throughout Asia. The press balance sheet is helping increase production and reduce stress worldwide. At Counterplate Japan, our dream is to help make things better for everyone.